All right, welcome to Rockstar Conditioning. I am your host today, Cressie Gaga. Cressie Gaga was a character born, gosh, what year would you say that was? Cressie Gaga? A long time ago. 2000 and, no. A long time ago, Cressie Gaga was born. And so she's here today and very excited to host for you. A little fun fact about me is that I used to get mistaken for Lady Gaga back when I lived in Berkeley or in that general area, because at the time Gaga lived there as well. And she is very, very small, even though she's larger than life on stage. And the way I'm dressed right now is pretty much how I would dress every day out in the mean streets of Berkeley. So this is also, if Lady Gaga were to go to Circus Workout Party, this is how she would dress. So thank you for having me today. So we have a 90-minute, about 80 minutes of working out today for you, all focused on aerial conditioning. And I'm going to pass it off to the coaches to introduce themselves for tonight.
Hello, I am Anastasia. I tried to go rock. I think I kind of landed between 80s and futurism. But hey, it's okay. I tried. I'm going to be doing the cool down, which is an active flexibility portion of class at the end today. You don't need anything for my section. There'll be one exercise where if you need to, you can use a strap to loop over your foot, but since we're going to need a towel or a scarf anyway, you can also just use that, and that's totally fine.
Hi, I am Staza, and I went very like Gem and the Holograms with my look today, because I got the makeup like that, and the rest of me is just a little bit rock and roll style, but it's all in the face tonight for me. I'm going to be doing get a grip and hang in there, working all of our hanging muscles. For my section, you're going to need a yoga block or a book of similar size, or a pillow would even work. You're also going to need a towel or a scarf or a blanket or something that is longer and also that you can wring. We're going to wring stuff out. And if you have like a balled up pair of socks or a like clown nose, works really well, I've discovered. We will also be using that for the grip section. And that is all my stuff. I think I forgot to list the socks in the description, so I'm sorry about that. But have those on hand or take them off your feet.
And I am Jocelynn. I'll be warming us up, and we're going to do a little gyrokinesis, which needs the technical chair. Kitty, not necessary. And I went for the crazy lady rocker who just like can't like ever get it together. So she's always going to wear feather boas all day long and her sunglasses. So that's me. So yeah, I'll let everybody get their technical piece of equipment of a chair, and then we will get going. Make sure your feet can touch the ground. If you don't have a chair, you can just sit on the ground.
We'll do a brief break after Staza today.
Cool. Okay. Spinning the chair back with the kitty. I'm wondering how much she's going to start attacking my feather boa. So she'll just sit in our chair and just begin to breathe and feel your feet on the ground, feel your sits bones into your chair. Just keep breathing while everybody gets ready. And then let's take our hands together and rub them, getting in between the webs of your fingers, getting some heat going on in the palms. I have to get off my sunglasses for this one. And then bring your hands to your face and just rub your face. Just like you're washing your face in the morning or wiping the sandbags out of your eyes in the morning. Get to the jaw. Massage that jaw around. And then go down to the teeth. And up to the nose. Open up those sinuses. Let's open our mouth really wide. Move your tongue around. Move your lips around. Then bring your fingers to your forehead and rub away the forehead. And onto the temples, do nice gentle circles in both directions. And then let's tap on our head like it's raining. Tap all around your head, waking up your brain. Let's go to our ears and just pull your ears out. So going around the outside of the ear, just pulling it away from the scalp. And again, breathing nice and deep. Let's go to our shoulders. You want to ditch the boa. Let's go to our shoulders, massage your shoulders. And then tap on your chest. And then tapping down into your belly. And then coming into your diaphragm, we're going to take the tips of our fingers, right the diaphragm, and exhale. Separate your diaphragm from your abdomen. And moving down the diaphragm. Down into your pelvis area. And massage that pelvic bowl. Make your belly nice and soft. And then using the heel of your hand, let's tap on the forearm, getting all around there. You should get the entire forearm. The elbow, onto the upper arm, back of the arm, under your arm, and the other side. Back of the arm. Then we're going to draw out the hands. We're going to start at the wrists, just draw out all the way out your pinky. And then the fourth finger. And the middle finger. It's definitely a good exercise for all the aerialists. If you're back in the air, or you're about to get back in the air, stuff is opening up. It just gets the energy moving. And put your hands together and do some wrist circles. Other direction. And open your hands nice and wide. And curl them into a fist. Fist down. Rotate them up. And then open your hands all the way up. And again, fingers to the sky. Curling into a fist. Fist down. Rotate them up. And then open them all the way up. Now you're going to take the heel of your hand and the back of your butt. Woo! That is sore on me. And we go down the sides of the legs, that IT band. And the tops of the legs. And the inner thighs. And then around your knees. It's kind of like floppy hands. And then down one calf. Make sure your calf is nice and loose. And then up the calf. Other side, down the top, down the shin. And up the calf. And then cross one leg over. Let's massage that foot, opening up the bottom of the foot. Giving your foot some love. You can kiss it if you want. I'm too tight right now. And then let's make our toes into splits. Start with the pinky toe and fourth toe. You go split one way, the other way, and open. I'm moving through the toes all the way to your big toe. And then let's interlace our fingers in between each of the toes. Hold on with your other hand and kind of pull traction and do a nice ankle circles, making space in that ankle. And other direction. And then drawing out the Achilles, pulling it out. And one more time, pulling it out. And then switch to the other side. And just open up that foot, massaging it. And then let's go to our toes. Pinky toe first, make it do the splits with the fourth toe. Split, split, middle splits. And working your way down the toes. Interlace your hand. Nice circles. And other direction. And then pulling out the Achilles. Pulling out the Achilles. All right. So if you've done this before with me, you know that this is all about arches and curls and spirals of the spine. So we're first going to start with our feet on the ground, sit bones on the chair, and just a gentle arch and curl the spine. My shoulders are nice and relaxed. I'm just looking at over the horizon, this beautiful landscape of your living room or your bedroom or your den or your basement. And then you want to think about exhaling, exhaling, inhale to the middle, exhale to the front, and back. You can make the exhales as audible as you'd like. Make it kind of forceful. Feel the exhale coming all the way from your belly. Now we're going to add the arms and they're going to come to your belly button and up in a V. And making sure that your arch is completely equal throughout all parts of your spine instead of just one part really popping out. And the next one, we're going to open up to a diagonal. So open up in the diagonal and in, and the other diagonal and in. One more of these each side. And then you're going to swing the arms up through the middle and swimming up and through the middle. And the last one, we're going to swing the arms through the middle as you curl back and then just open to the side. It's kind of like you're holding two plates. One more. And then come back, rest your hands, just feel all that energy that's starting to move through your body. And now we're gonna do some spirals. And so I'm just gonna spiral and my hands are just gonna draw up. I'm gonna look around the corner, take a breath, reach your spine up, 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 and center. And inhale, as you spiral, exhale to the center. And inhale, and another side. Now with the flexibility, you can bring your hands around to the back. This hand comes palm down on my thigh. You can push on your thighs to make your spine longer. And the other side. One more time each side. Last one. Now you're going to use your flat hand with a fist, and you're gonna just push yourself around the corner, and then push around the corner. My hands are about at heart height. And exhale around the corner. One more each side. Now go on the diagonal. So on the diagonal down. And diagonal down. So you're pushing something into the water, but it's resisting you. It's really resist. Like you're moving through thick mud. And one more of these. And coming back to the center. And let's bring the belly to the front. And to the side. And back. Side. Front. Side. Back. Side. And smooth out the corners. These nice big circles. It's okay if your sits bones are coming off your chair or the ground. You want to get as much spinal mobility as possible. And we'll stop at the front to go the other direction. So front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side, and smooth it out. Now we're going to take one hand, grasp onto the opposite wrist. Palm faces out. I'm going to turn towards the hand that I'm grabbing with. Pushing that other hand out and go around. And again, reach as far away from you as you can and around. Two more. And last one. Let's do the other side. Grasp on the opposite wrist, push it out and around. And around. Two more. Last one. And coming back to the first side, grabbing onto that wrist, coming over to the same side as the hand that's being grabbed. Go up and over, make a big rainbow over your head. Big rainbows all around you. Spreading your house with rainbows. Last one. Other direction and over your head. Just trying to do a nice long exhale. And last one. Bring your hands to your side. Just simply dip to one side and the other. Open up that side body. Again, it's okay if that opposite hip bone comes off your chair. One more each side. Now we're going to scoop and reach to the side. And reach. And reach. And one more each side. Now you're going to put your hand on your thigh. Reach over your head. Reach over your head to the side. And reach up, 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 and over. And coming back to the center. Our favorite thing now are the waves. So I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be arching down and up. And then diving at the top of my head. Down and up. So here we go. And arching down and up. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale at the top. It's like you're riding a wave. Now let's come over to one leg, so to over a leg. Directly in line with that leg. And again. And other side. And again. And then this one's kind of fun. We're going to go and turn to the side. Now so my ear is leading down the middle. So my ear leads down the middle. And I dive through. And again. Other side. And again. And then bring your feet together. Bring my hands together to one side. And I'm going to open up that top arm to the sky. And I'm going to curl my body over. Another side, I'm going to open up to the top of the sky. Oh, I love this one. And over. One more time each side. And last side. And now we're going to draw down our legs. Let me get so you can see these lovely legs of mine, my zebra legs. I'm going to have a pointed foot, come down and up. Just drawing down, reaching as far out as you can. And reaching out. And out. Now flex that foot, reach under your leg, so draw down the back of the leg. Just making big circles and down the back of the leg. So fun to watch all of you moving in unison. We're going on the road, folks. Once this is over, and we're bringing the legs to the side, point it, and again down the side. And down to the side. Down the side. And flexing the foot, same thing, flex. And one more each side. I reach the leg out, crossing it over. Ooh, feel that nice. Whoo, have a hip stretch. Oh, yeah. And then reach it out towards me. And then you reach the side and internally rotate and reach over towards that leg. Palm away from you at the top hand. Ooh, and come down. Reach that leg out and cross it over. Whoo, tightest part of my body right now. Reach it out. And then reach the side. Now we're gonna come sitting on my chair. One butt cheek is on, one is off. I'm gonna put my hand palm up on my speaker. And I'm just gonna straighten that back leg and think about scooping my spine in a nice curve to the sky. And release. And again, reach that back heel out. And from the other side. One butt cheek on, one butt cheek off, and reaching that back heel, curling the spine to the sky, really getting a nice big stretch in your psoas. And one more time. Okay, now we're gonna sit on the very edge of your chair, as on the edge as you can be. I'm gonna scoop my spine back, my hands are supporting me. I'm gonna do little froggy spins. If you feel your hip flexors clicking, then try and curl your spine a little more, and that should help release the clicking in your hips. And let's go the other way, froggy the other way. This is getting into our abs. We're then going to go to the floor and do a little ab exercise. One more. Nice. All right, here we go, down to the ground. Going down. I always exercise in all my jewels. Okay. On the ground, I've got my hands, and I'm going to just scoot my spine back. Have my little toesies on the ground. And this one, you really want to work with the breath. So I'm going to go with each movement, and that really is being a forceful exhale from my belly button, from my lower spine. So it's like, come with me. Yeah, my butt is on the ground. Now I'm going to straighten the bottom leg. Good job. We're going to roll to our back, legs to the side. And you can have your legs bent like at an angle. And then I'm going to exhale and just move my legs to one side and to the center. And the other side and center. 3 more times each side. Yeah. 2 more. And last one. And then we're going to come up to our hollow body position, like this. And our palms are out. We're going to pulse and exhale. Now flex your feet. One more time, point your feet. You got this. And release it down. Shake out those hips. Roll over to your belly. Do a little belly stretch. And then I'm going to pass the boa to Miss Staza. Love you all.
Such a rock star. I love it. And I love the sunglasses because you just remind me of like the night after or the night always, like the 24/7 like party rock star lifestyle. Oh yeah. Okay, well we're gonna start with get a grip. So you can stay seated, but you need your hands to be free. You need access to your hands for all of the things that we are doing. Since, you know, let's get a grip. It's all about getting get a handle on yourself. Jocelynn, okay? You gotta get your lifestyle in check. Get a grip. Okay, we're gonna start by doing, oh, actually, let me set my timer so I don't go over, because as a rock star, you know, I could just talk forever and ever and just do encore after encore, but let's not do that. So we're gonna do flex and extend. So I'm gonna make a fist and I'm gonna squeeze as hard as I can with that fist at like about 3 seconds. And then I'm gonna extend my fingers nice and wide, those fingers that we stretched out with Jocelynn. We're gonna extend them for about 3 seconds. Yep, we're gonna do 10 sets of these. Gripping as hard as you can, making those fists, getting ready to fist pump into the sky, and then extending. And you can go with me at my pace or you can go on your own pace. That is up to you. I like I say, like 3 seconds about, but you know, I'm not actually counting, I'm just feeling it out. Also, if you have long fingernails, don't dig too deep. I don't want you to cause no bloodshed. I mean, I guess this is a rock star party, and so there can be a little bit of blood at a rock concert, all right, if you're really into it. So maybe this is the time that you do leave for a circus workout party. Like I said, we're doing 10 total, so that's 10 of each kind of both the flexion and the extension. And when I'm extending, I'm thinking about like I'm Spider-Man shooting webs out of my fingertips. Although I guess because they're technically not out of his fingertips, but you get the drift, you guys. Let's do one more. And extend. And awesome. Go ahead and shake that out. We are going to move into doing fingertip push-ups. So that means I'm going to be in a push-up position, but I'm gonna go onto my knees because I cannot support my body for a full 10 push-ups on my normal push-up on my fingertips. We're gonna do a little kind of like tent of the hands so that our fingertips are the part that we're isolating onto the floor. So I'm gonna be like this in my push-up position. And I'm going into a wide arm push-up position for this because I find that to be more comfortable. And I'm gonna go onto my knees. Take whatever kind you want. You can, like I said, maybe you're a boss and you're gonna do it from your full push-up position. We're gonna do 10 total. So we're really, really working the hands and the fingertips here by not having our palm flat on the ground. And these are like rock star push-ups because they're not your average push-up. Couple more. And 10. Awesome, you guys. The next thing we're going to do is we're gonna grab that towel or that blanket or that scarf or whatever object you have that you can wring out. Please note, pets are children for this. So you just got off stage and you're super sweaty because you had an amazing set and you use this towel, but you realize you have to do another set. So you don't want your towel to get really disgusting. So we're gonna wring out that towel. We're gonna squeeze as hard as we can. We're gonna wring it out, trying to squeeze every last drop of your sweat. Maybe you're bottling your sweat because you're so famous that people would buy that from you. So this is you trying to do a little extra side hustle to your music career. Nice. And then let's squeeze the other way. So whatever hand was twisting back and whatever hand was twisting forward, go ahead and swap that. So we're getting equal amounts of twisting. Like I said, you're getting maybe your groupies are backstage and they're like, they want to drink that sweat. And you don't want to let your groupies down because they're the most important people to your success. They're helping support your whole career. So you're going to squeeze out every last drop of that stage sweat for them. Yes. Couple more rings. You can go on like a ringing pattern or you can really try to twist it all the way around. It's up to you. We're just working the forearms and we're working our grip for our hands, which is important for all aerial and also for life. Okay, go ahead and put that towel to the side for now. We're gonna go back to, well, I'm gonna go back to the mat. We're gonna go into a tabletop position and I'm going to do little kind of wrist raises. So from my flat hand position, I'm gonna raise up into that kind of little mountaintop position. My hands are making little mountains and back down. How many of these are doing? We're doing 20 of these total. So once again, in your tabletop, raising up and coming down. So this is just working, once again, your fingertips, your wrists. I hear these are really good for handstands as well. And I say that I hear that because I'm not a good circus person. I don't do as many handstands as I should. So maybe by doing all of these things, I'll actually be better at handstands when I try them again. Who knows? But you should feel a little bit of a burn in your forearms from these guys, from that lifting and lowering. I think that is about 15 for me. Like I said, if you're counting, we're doing 20, but if you do a little bit more than that, that's okay too. And 20. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a very similar thing to the wringing of the towel, but we're going to use our foot to help us. So we're going to take our towel, scarf, blanket, long item, put it around the bottom of your foot. If it's not long enough for you to have the leg straight, that's okay. You can have the leg bent here, but if you can straighten your leg, it's kind of nice because then it's like a little bit of an extra leg stretch for you. We're gonna hold that towel, let me back up a little bit so you can see my hands, and I'm gonna wring in and out. So I'm twisting my arms in and out as I'm pulling as hard as I can. So I'm working my arm muscles while also working that grip strength because my hands are trying to pull the towel away. Can I rip the towel away? How strong are you? And then we're gonna switch which leg this is on. So go ahead and swap legs because we want to be even with our legs. Even if you're bent, it's just make your body feel evened out. We're gonna do that same thing. So twisting and pulling, working all of those muscles that you might utilize, especially with any type of fabric or ropey rope, which is the very technical term for rope. And once again, pulling as hard as you can, like you're trying to rip that towel away. It's all about using that tension to get a workout and feel the burn. And I don't know about you guys, but my forearms feel the burn from all of this. Awesome. Go ahead and put that off to the side. And the last thing we're gonna do is my favorite thing to do, because it's so silly. We're gonna grab our ball of socks, or maybe you have a clown nose, or maybe you have something else, just pretty much like a squishy object. And what we're going to do is we're gonna toss it in the air, but rather than catching it with our palms, like a juggler, we're gonna try to catch it with our little fingertips, like we're little crabs. So we're working our fingers independently from our palms, from the rest of our hands. Sorry, words are escaping me today. But maybe this is your signature move on the stage. You're like, I am a rock star and I will be a crab. And everyone in the audience does the crab with you. If you have the Zoom with everybody on, we're all doing it together. So this is like our big group dance. Maybe the song is called Do the Crab. I'm not gonna try to sing it for you because I will burn all of your ears. And I like you guys and I wanna do that. Awesome. Go ahead and toss those off to the side. And we are going to move up the body. So we're gonna move into doing some stuff for our elbow hangs. And our elbow hangs utilize so many muscles up here. Our biceps, our pecs, our lats, our triceps, all of those things. The first thing that we're gonna start with is an isometric bicep curl. And I use my towel for this. You can also use a TheraBand if you want a little bit more resistance and pull. We're gonna go to standing. Get your object of choice. Like I said, you can use your cloth item or you can get a TheraBand. Either way, I like either. It just, you know, a little bit more resistance, but that's what it's all about, is that resistance. And I'm gonna step on that object with the outside of my legs. I'm gonna pin my arm into my side, and then I'm gonna try to bend at the elbow. So although I'm not bending much, I'm creating resistance and tension, which is working my bicep. And we're gonna pull, and then we're gonna relax. And then we're gonna pull again, and then we're gonna relax. So we're creating that same type of tension. You can hold for longer if you'd like, or you could do more sets with less hold. So for me, I'm doing about 3 seconds and then releasing. You could also do like 10-second holds if you wanted. And if you have a band, you're obviously gonna go up a little bit higher. But this is to get you those drummer arms, you know? You're a total rock star, but maybe you're playing the drums. And I'm doing 10 of these with the little like 3-second hold. If you're curious, if you want to know what's going on, maybe I could tell you guys. And then we're gonna switch to the other side. Same thing, gonna step on that object, and then I'm gonna try to rip it out from under there by bending at the elbow. Also thinking about my posture here. I have my abs engaged. I'm trying to stand up nice and straight. I'm not trying to hunch over. Don't look at your feet here. Your feet are not important. You know that they look good on that stage. Everybody's busy looking at your face because you are the star. Nice. And I like these exercises because they are ones that you could do when you're touring with your band on the road and you're staying at all these random hotels. You can work out because you have a towel. That's right. All you need. And this is gonna be the last one for me. And awesome. We're gonna get back on the floor and we're just gonna do 10 old-fashioned push-ups. Nothing fancy, just working those pecs. So I'm gonna do my wide arm or standard push-up, Once again, please feel free to go to your knees if you'd like, or you can stay up on your feet. I'm gonna try to do them on my feet. We'll see where my body's at today. But we're doing 10 of these total. Looking at that dirty venue floor, don't kiss it. Even if it's like a venue you've always dreamed of playing in, no, you don't wanna kiss that floor. There's enough diseases going around, you guys. And 10. Awesome. Moving along the arms, we are going to do 10 tricep push-ups. So same exact thing. My arms are just going to be in and underneath my shoulders, so I'm working my triceps specifically. Once again, nothing too fancy here. Just some tricep push-ups. So you can assume your position of choice. That can be your plank body, or that can be on your knees, or maybe you do half and half. I'm going to take my knees for these. My triceps are not having it today. And that's okay. I played too much guitar yesterday, that's what it is. Just kidding, I don't know how to play guitar. And 10. Awesome. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to do some trap shoulder shrugs. So you can just come to a kneeling or sitting position, whatever feels good. You can put your hands at a prayer. You can do like power fist. You can interlace your fingers. I'm going to do a little power fist. It makes me feel like rock star on stage. And we're going to raise up as high as we can, squeezing in the back as well, and then lower all the way down, using those lats to draw them down. And we're going to repeat. Yes. So we're trying to lift up as high as we can go. Maybe there's a lot of tension in your neck from all of those long plane rides because you're playing an international tour. I find like this helps personally, especially the coming down and the pushing. We're doing, if I can say it already, 10 of these total. Really working those traps as we lift. And a couple more. And 10. Awesome. I'm gonna check my time because, oh look, you get to hear me sing anyways, even if you didn't want to, you still get to. Okay, the next thing we're going to do something for our lats. They are supine push-ups. I know that Jocelynn has done these before as well. I really like these. We're gonna make like a field goal with our arms while we're laying flat on the ground, like so. So they're out straight from my shoulders, 90 degrees. And I'm gonna draw my elbows in, squeezing my shoulder blades together and raising my chest off of the ground. And then I'm gonna lower myself back down. So I'm using those back muscles to pull my arms in while my chest is rising. I'm not trying to like get super lift here. I'm just trying to engage and squeeze the muscles. And we're doing 10 of these total, just like most things that we're working on. Once again, something you would not want to do on the floor of a venue, but maybe on stage. Maybe this is one of your signature stage moves. Right before you stage dive. 10, awesome. The last thing we're going to do for our upper body and our arms, we're gonna do just a little rotator cuff exercise. I'm going to go back to that position we were just in actually, and I'm gonna have my arm up in that field goal-like position. Then I'm just gonna rotate slowly down, all the way up through center and back down. I can't touch the floor when I come this direction. Don't jerk your shoulder forward so you can. Keep your shoulder down and touching the mat, and don't worry about if you can't make it all the way down. This is also an exercise that you could potentially use a weight for, preferably a lighter weight. Something like between like 1 to 5 pounds. So not a cat, but maybe a chihuahua, if you have one of those. And we're doing 10 of these total. This is, you're done with your set and you're just waving to the crowd. You're telling them goodbye. You're done. No more encores. And then if I didn't say, we're doing 10, and then we're going to switch arms. It's okay if your arms have different mobility. That was 10 for me. I'm going to go ahead and do my other side. Waving, you're waving to the rest of your band now. That was for the crowd. This is for your band. You're the front man, and you're telling them you're down for the count. That was it. You gave it your all. You're done. You need to go backstage and eat some green M&Ms, drink a beer, or water, or a kombucha, or whatever it is that you put on your rider because you needed it, or you're not gonna play. Couple more. And the last one. Awesome. We are going to move on, moving down the body. We're gonna go to our knee hang. So we're gonna be working the legs and the booty. For this, you're gonna need your yoga block or a book of similar size, or even a large pillow can work, because we just want something that we can squeeze real tight. We're gonna hug it with our thut, which is our thigh butt. You're gonna take your item of choice and you're gonna find yourself in a tabletop position. From here, you're gonna put that item right under your booty into a booty smile, and your heel is gonna trap the other end. So I have this in this tight squeeze. My leg is squeezing to keep that in this position. Then I'm gonna swing that leg under my body and raise it back up. We're doing 10 of these, and we're just gonna squeeze that block as hard as we can while doing so. Keeping the abs engaged and pushing away from the ground as well, trying not to collapse through the spine. But this should be a little bit of a booty burner, which my butt really hurts from doing booty blast last night because I hadn't done it in so long. So I am super feeling this today. And 10, then we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. Same exact thing, block goes right under your booty in your booty smile, and the heel traps it. And we're gonna do those little leg swings, so coming in and lifting up. And it's really not about how high you lift the leg. I mean, lifting it parallel to the ground is great, but it's more about the squeezing through the motion. Yes. I think this is 9, last one, and 10. Okay, next thing we're going to do, a very, very similar thing. We're gonna lay on the ground this time, and I'm gonna put the yoga block right where it was before when I was in tabletop, trapping it with my heel. But this time I'm gonna lift up off the ground, keeping my hip bone and my hips on the floor, so I'm not lifting like this. I'm sitting nice and flat. I'm squeezing and then lowering back. So squeezing up, holding it for about 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, lowering back down. You can also do longer holds, but I'm gonna do 10 sets of about 2 squeezes, or you could do like 3 sets of 10-second holds if you wanted to. It just depends. I feel like they're both effective. And once again, it's all about that squeeze. Squeezing that block to the booty. Feeling that engagement behind the knee, which is great for a lot of things aerial as well. And it's just great to have strong legs for life, even if you don't do aerial. And that is 10 for me. I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out to the other side, same exact placement. Same exact thing, lifting and squeezing for a couple seconds at the top before lowering back down. Once again, I'm not really lifting that high, as you can see. It's not necessarily about the height, it's more about the lift and the squeeze happening together. I'm really trying to think about bringing my heel to my butt. Obviously, there's something in the way, which is creating that nice tension. But I'm actively thinking about trying to drive my heel into my booty. So I have a lot of activation all through the leg. Kick yourself in the butt, but don't actually. But maybe you do. Maybe you break through your block because you're so strong. That's your rock star trick. And 10. Awesome. The next thing that we're going to do is a straight up a booty exercise. We're gonna go onto our backs and we're going to lay flat. And then we're just gonna lift up, squeezing the booty at the top and lowering down. So we're doing 10 of these, just squeezing and lower. And I mean, this is like a quintessential rock star move, obviously. We already talked about your groupies. So maybe this is how you work out backstage and the groupies are like, oh, I'm sticking around. Really squeezing your glute at the top. And then on the last one, we're gonna hold it. So this is my 10th. I'm gonna hold and squeeze as tight as I can. Really thinking about trying to raise those hips up by engaging the booty. And then lowering back down. Awesome. The last thing we're going to do for our knee hangs is we're going to take our towel, blanket, other thing. We're going to come to a standing position. And we're going to do a little resistance with our knee pit. So I'm going to take my item underneath my knee pit. I'm going to get a good grip on it. Then I'm going to squeeze my knee into my towel while I'm pulling up and away. So I'm trying to pull down with my knee while I'm pulling up with my hands at the same time. They're in a battle against one another. Who will win? While I'm still trying to have nice posture, abs engaged, shoulders are coming down. And we're holding this guy. Yes, or you can use your actual silks, Cressie. Genius. And then we're going to release for a couple seconds. And then we're going to do one more hold on that side. So you can shake it out, whatever you need to do there, a little hokey pokey. We're going to re-engage. Once again, I'm trying to pull up and down with the same amount of force. So I'm having an equal resistance. I don't know, science, physics, something. Really working that squeeze. And then come out of that and let's switch to the other leg. Same thing. Gonna get set up, standing up nice, straight and tall, squeezing down and pulling away as hard as you can. Well, or you can make this as hard as you want to make it, I guess I should say. You can really squeeze in with that knee, but if you're also pulling up with your arms, it's a great, I feel like, resistance workout. I just like always start sweating, or maybe it's just the stage lights on me. Just get sweaty on stage, a sweaty rocker. And release for a couple seconds. We're going to do another hold. You can do whatever you need to do with that leg. And then we're going to re-engage. I've talked about this before, but I feel like you could definitely use like a broom for this if you wanted something that was more replica of a trapeze bar or a lyra bar, and practice the same kind of squeezing, and you'd be holding the handle on either side. I don't have one of those because I'm disgusting. So therefore I have to tell. And coming out of that. Awesome. Let me do another time check because my phone keeps shutting me out. Okay, we have a couple of minutes left. So we're gonna go down to doing our feet. So this is for our toe and heel hangs and our ankles and all of that. So this is working our balance as well as our ankle strength. We're gonna be standing for this. And if you need to hold on to something, you can, but try not to because we're trying to work the ankle strength through balance. We are going to stand on one leg, lift the other leg up, and we're going to write with our foot that's in the air, "You are a rock star at circus workout party." I see you all writing it. I know that it would be perfect penmanship if there was a pencil in your hand. Nice, shake that out. Let's do the other one. Write the same thing. "You are a rock star at circus workout party." Or maybe this is how you sign your autographs. You're like, "No, I cannot be bothered to use my hands. I'm too busy fanning myself. I'm gonna use my foot to sign all of my autographs. And for that, I commend you." And then shake that out. The next thing we're going to do is we're gonna stand in a little first position here. I believe my brain. And we're gonna do little heel raises. So I'm gonna be just lifting up and lowering down. When I really wanted my heel hang to happen, I did these to an extreme amount, and it proved successful, I believe, because after I started doing like 50 of these a day, like 2 weeks later, I had my heel hang. So I really, really highly recommend doing these if that is something that you don't have and you want, and you are a aerialist who knows what I'm talking about. Otherwise, this is just a great leg exercise. Give you those beautiful long legs. I'm doing 20 total, if I didn't say that already. And 20. The last thing that we're going to do, we're going to do a little arch exercise for our feet. So I like to do this on a yoga mat or some kind of other like blankety object, because I really like to feel the pull in, but you can do them anywhere. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my toes in, and I'm going to try to rise the center of my arches up as I do so. So I'm doing little pulls in, thinking about drawing my toes and my heels together so that my arch rises. Marianne Foster, who's an amazing person that lives in Boulder, she first showed me these because I really wanted to improve the arch of my foot, and these are exercises that she suggested doing, and I think that they've helped me. So a little shout out to Marianne. And I'm doing 10 total. Like I said, I like it because you can feel your object pulling closer and closer. And awesome. You shake that out, and I think that is my time. So thank you guys for getting a grip and hanging in there with me through my very long set on stage. I'm gonna pass you off to the rock star Anastasia. Oh wait, or break.
Yeah, just a really quick, super quick break if you need the bathroom or water or anything. We'll be right back. And Anastasia, we needed maybe a strap if we wanted it, I think is what you had said.
Yep, if you want it, but the towel that you already have will work perfectly. So, and you may not need it, but yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. So see y'all in a minute. All right. It looks like most people are back, so I'm going to go ahead and begin. And as people are settling back in, I'm just going to briefly talk about what I think of when I think of active flexibility. And that is a flexing of the opposing muscle group to the muscle that we're trying to stretch. That's the short of it. Every muscle is really good at contracting, but they can't go the other way. They can't expand without an opposing muscle group allowing that action to happen. So at least for my body, when I started doing flexibility, it made a lot more sense for me to think about it in those terms rather than trying to relax a specific muscle that I'm trying to stretch. Might just be my personality, but I'm not really good at relaxing things. So that's the way I like to think about it. So most of these exercises are intended to be a little bit of effort in one direction, which will hopefully allow your body to realize that with the flexibility that we're entering is a safe place for us to be, that we're okay there, and hopefully over a few of these repetitions, your body will allow you to get deeper and deeper into each stretch. Yeah? So that's the basic idea. We're going to start with a forward fold. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and stand up. And you're going to want your legs comfortable distance apart. For me, that is slightly wider than hips width, but comfortable. And making sure that your knees and your toes are facing the same direction. Your nose can also be facing that direction if you so choose, but that might change in a moment. We're then just going to fold forward, nice and slow, trying to stay flat in the back until we're down as far as we possibly can. And then bend the knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Now we do this a lot, and this is a great exercise to sort of start getting the back of your hamstrings nice and relaxed. I'm going to do this about 3 times. Bend the knees, roll up, and fold forward again, making sure the legs stay very straight and the back stays nice and flat. Feel free, of course, to use your own legs to help you out. On the last one, go ahead and remain folded in half. We're then going to do a little bit of active pulling here. Let me tilt my camera so you can see a little bit better. You're going to grab the back of your legs wherever you are, and you can grab behind your thighs, you can grab behind your calves, wherever is comfortable. I'm then going to bend my knees as if I'm sitting down, and I'm going to press my chest against my thigh. For me, I have to bend my knees quite a bit in order for that to happen. And then I'm going to try to keep my chest as close to my thigh as I can, and I'm going to try to re-straighten my legs. And I'm pressing against my own leg to help me keep my chest close to my thighs. And I'm just going to bend and straighten about 5 to 10 times. You can do this with your breath, or you can just go nice and slow. And really imagine that you're trying to glue your belly button to your thighs. And that as the legs straighten, don't let it go away. Don't let them separate. They might come apart a little bit, and that's totally fine. Last one. Nice. And then bend the knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Just taking a moment to sort of shake out the legs, feeling maybe a little bit more open in the backs of the hamstrings. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and fold forward one more time. Interlace your elbows or grab elbows, and then just sway side to side. Get a little bit of that stretch into the side of the leg. If you want to open up and do a little twist there, you can. You can also sway and or shake the head yes and no. Try to release some of the tension in the neck. When you're ready, go ahead and come towards the center, come to stillness. See if you can feel your head nice and heavy. Let the weight of the head pull and elongate the back of the neck. If you want something for the shoulders here, you can also interlace the hands behind your back and extend the arms into a straight position, letting gravity pull them up and over your head. You can also play with being on the balls of your feet versus being on your heels and sort of shifting gently from forward to back. And if you want more shoulder stretch, you can tip slightly from side to side. And that'll put the stretch into one shoulder and then into the other shoulder. Be gentle, of course. Very nice. Go ahead and plant the hands. You're going to walk the hands out a little bit so that you're now more in a downward dog position. We're going to do some leg kicks here. So take one leg and place it right in the center. Take your other leg up towards the ceiling. Now, for the first one, just go ahead and kick however you want. Let the hips open. Do what you got to do. Do 10 kicks with this first leg. Just sort of getting that hip open and warm. If you want a little bit more of a calf stretch, you can push your heel of the standing leg into the floor. And once you've done 10 kicks like that, then you're going to re-square your hips. Make sure that both hip bones are actively pointing towards the floor. And you're going to do 10 more kicks with a very square hip. Now, your kicks might be a lot more limited in the square hip version, and that's totally fine. But we're working a little bit of that booty that Staza has fired up for us. Doing 10 like that. Once you've done 10 on that side, if you need to take a quick break and roll out the wrists, you can. Being in the downward dog for that long can be a lot on the wrists. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So once you feel ready, back to your downward dog position. Other leg is now going to go towards the middle. And you're going to start with 10 open kicks, doing whatever you want to do, whatever your body feels like it wants to do, to get that leg as high as you can. And once you've done 10 like that, you're then going to square the hips. Really make sure that you're actively pointing both towards the floor. And you're going to do 10 kicks like that. Excellent. Now, once you've done 10 kicks, you're going to step one leg up in between your hands for a high lunge. Very nice. A couple of things you can play here. If you want a calf stretch, you can send your heel back. If you want more of a hip stretch, then try to really straighten your leg and drop your hips towards the floor and try to feel it in this bottom leg here. Excellent. And now from here, I want to do one of my favorite hip openers. This is excellent for really getting into the hip flexor, especially if you're someone who sits all day like me. So from here, you're going to bring your knee to the floor, but bring your body nice and upright. Now, if you need something to hold on to for balance, you can use a chair. Or if you don't have something or you want to work on your balance, you can bring your arms out to a T. And either way, I want you to imagine that you're pressing down on an invisible object. Tuck your back toes, and you're going to try to straighten your knee without letting your hip lift too much. So I'm thinking about pressing down. I'm thinking about straightening my knee and keeping my hips in the same spot spatially. We're going to do that 5 times. Straightening, keeping the hips nice and low, and bringing that knee back down to the floor. Really think about squeezing your glute. Really think about opening from the front of the leg and coming back down. That was 3 for me. 4. And 5. Excellent. Back knee on the floor. Go ahead and straighten your front leg. Again, driving that hip back, making sure that you're nice and straight through the hips, that they're not, one's not coming forward or anything like that. And I like to flex my foot here. Sorry, you can't see my foot. but I like to flex my foot here. And what I'm trying to imagine is that my butt bone, my sit bone, is extending back behind me, and at the same time, my heel is extending forward. So I'm creating length in the back of my leg by thinking in those two directions at the same time. Okay. Excellent. Then right from here, you can come up onto your fingertips, or if this is a lot, if you're in a really intense stretch, back out of your stretch so that you're at like a 4 or 5. And you're going to externally rotate, so your toes will go out. Make sure your hip is really drawing back, and see if you can lift your leg off the floor. Attempt this 5 times. If you're lifting your leg off the floor and you're like, yeah, no big deal, I don't know what you're talking about, then you can try pulsing and then lowering. Excellent. Good job, everybody. Then go ahead and rebend that knee, and we're going to switch sides. And we're going to do all that on the other side. Now, the first thing that we started with was that hip opener. So just coming to your lunge for a second, warming up the lunge, shifting forward and backwards. If you need to, trying to drop the hips. And then we're going to work on that hip opener like we did on the other side. Back knee to the floor, coming upright. Again, if you need to use an object, you can use an object. Otherwise, your arms come out to a T. You're going to tuck your back toes. You're going to try to keep your hips low as you straighten your leg. And then dropping the knee back down. See if you can keep your hips low as you straighten that leg. Doing this 5 times. This is 3, 4, last one, 5. Wonderful. Back knee down. Go ahead and straighten your front leg and flex your foot. Folding forward, making sure that that hip is drawing back and that you're finding that same extension I was talking about before. Wonderful. And then go ahead and back out of your flexibility to like a level 3 or 4 stretch out of 10. And see if you can turn that leg externally, so toes are going to point out. Pull that hip back and see if you can lift your foot off the floor. If you find that you're very much rounding your back in order to do that, that's okay, but make sure that you reset every time and see if you can maybe round a little less every time. Excellent. And after you've done your 5, go ahead and come to a seated position with both legs out straight in front of you. Now you want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, so I sometimes have to move my glutes and things out of the way, so I'm right on my sit bones. I want you to go ahead and flex your feet, and you're going to try to do a few leg straighteners from here. So you're going to relax the knees, and as you can see, I have a little bit of space here because my knees don't hyperextend. So when I straighten, my heels come off the floor a little bit. If your knees do hyperextend, you might come up a lot further, but try to engage and relax 10 times. And what I'm really thinking about is this little muscle right above my kneecap, drawing my knee up towards my hip bone. And 10. Excellent. Keep your feet nice and flexed. You're going to now imagine that you're holding on to something, I don't know, handlebars, an apparatus, your rock star microphone, your guitar, whatever, and you're going to push it past your feet as far as you can go and then back. And we're going to do that 10 times. Keep your feet flexed as you do that. It's okay if you don't actually get to your feet or even past your feet. It's the effort that you're looking for. And you're trying to fold nice and low, keep your feet flexed, keep your legs nice and straight. And maybe each time you can go a little bit further. 9, last one, and 10. And on your 10th one, go ahead and relax and do the big exhale and allow yourself to fold over your legs. You can round to the back. You can do whatever you got to do. Just letting your body know that this is an okay position to be in, that we're not hurt. We're just becoming more flexible. Excellent. So you can, I want to just quickly mention this exercise because it's rather lovely. If you have a block or a thick book like me, you can use it to help open up the hip flexor because I know that that is a trouble area for a lot of people. This exercise is really nice and relaxing. You're going to put your yoga block or your book right underneath of your sacrum, and then you're going to lay down and extend one leg straight. And your goal throughout this whole thing is to keep the heel of the straight leg on the floor. Don't let it lift up. It's going to want to. Think about engaging your thigh-butt connection, and pressing your heel into the floor. Now, this is not very challenging if you have a very open hip flexor, or if maybe your leg is still on the floor, this should feel pretty good. Really think about squeezing your butt, opening that hip flexor. You can always add difficulty by heightening or adding the height to your sacrum. Then, to make this more challenging, pull your bent knee into your chest and squeeze in. At the same time, make sure that your heel doesn't lift up. Keep pressing that heel into the floor. Keep that leg nice and straight. And breathing here. Very nice. So normally our focus is on this leg coming into our chest. Well, right now my focus is on this leg that's staying back, extending. Now, if you want more challenge still, then you can interlace your hands behind the knee that's coming to your chest and try to straighten that leg. Now, as you straighten through that leg, again, don't let the one that's on the floor come up. Don't let it lift. And maybe bend and straighten that leg a few times. Focusing again on that little muscle above your kneecap. Beautiful. I'm going to do this 5 times. I'm going to straighten my leg 5 times. Excellent. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So starting with that leg just extended, engaging that glute, feeling how that engagement helps me press my heel into the floor, opening the hip flexor, and then pulling the bent knee into your chest and just breathing, being here for a little bit, seeing how that feels. All about having that strong engagement. And then if you want more effort, then you can interlace your hands behind that knee and try to straighten your leg. And although I am working with that leg, I'm really focusing on the heel on the floor. Keep it down. And again, I'm going to do that 5 times. This is number 4 for me. And 5. Wonderful. All right. Hopefully your legs are starting to get nice and warm. Let's see where I am in my notes. Okay. We're going to start in our seated position. We're almost done. This one is going to work our core as well as our balance in our legs and active flexibility and all that kind of stuff. I just want to do one more thing real quick. This is where you can use your towel if you need to, or a blanket or a strap. And basically you're going to want to be able to be holding on to your leg in a straight-legged position. So if you can do that without an object, then you don't need one. Otherwise, use your towel or a strap to make that more comfortable. So do what you got to do. I like to place mine right around the arch of the foot, or maybe even at the ball of the foot, because for this exercise, it is more effective if you can keep your foot flexed. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. You're going to pull your knee into your chest. Make sure that you're staying nice and upright, nice and tall, long neck. And you're going to extend and try to push your heel towards the ceiling. hold for a few seconds, and then rebend your knee. We're gonna do this 5 times, and each time, see if you can get your shin a little bit closer to your face. See if you can get your heel a little bit closer to the sky. This is number 4. And 5. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. On this last one, you're going to transfer your foot or your strap or your towel into the opposite side hand. So right now my right leg is up, so I'm going to hold on with my left hand, and you're going to pull it across. You can have your other hand down for balance. This is really intense for me on the outside of the leg, so I don't go very far. But keep your legs straight, keep breathing. Then transfer to the same side hand and take the leg out to the side. Wonderful. And rest. Good, that leg gets a break. Other side. Use your strap, find your balance, shoulders down, long neck, and bending and straightening. Bending the knee in towards your chest, straightening the heel up towards the ceiling. Now you're in control of your own resistance here. But each time I'm trying to extend a little bit closer to my face, a little bit more directly towards the sky. Good. And 5. Transfer towards the opposite side hand. You're going to bring the leg across your body. Wonderful. And then transfer to the same side hand. You're bringing that leg out to the side. Excellent. And rest. Shaking out those legs. All right, I've got one more exercise, and then we're going to try our splits and see how they're doing. For this exercise, we're going to do a pike version and we're going to do a straddle version. And you have balancing options for both. For the pike, what's going to be the most challenging is the tighter that you bring your knees to your chest. So if you really wrap your arms around and try to find your balance, this is going to be the hardest. So if you need to back off a little bit, just extend, give yourself a little bit more space, and you can even interlace your hands behind your legs and things like that. The pattern is going to be this. It's going to be one leg, second leg, both legs. Okay, we're going to repeat that 5 times. One leg, second leg, both legs. Trying to stay upright. If you fall over, that's okay, like I just did. But trying to keep the shoulders pulling back, the chest pulling forward, and the legs staying close to the body. This is a lot of effort for me. It's a lot of effort in my abs, and it's a lot of effort in my arms and legs to stay balanced. Good. Once you're done with that, we're now going to take it to a froggy position. And again, I'm trying to stay nice and open. And we're going to do that again. One leg. And you can switch which leg starts. Second leg. Both legs. One leg. Second leg. And both legs. And again, I'm trying to do this 5 times. Now, if you want more challenge, you can hold on to the bottoms of the legs. I find the balance particularly hard on this one. 2 and 3. Excellent. Great job. All right, we're gonna try for a front to back split, see how they're feeling. Remember, it's just where your body is today. A lot of these active flexibility exercises can be applied to most of our body. Today, I really just focused on our hip flexors and our hamstrings and our hips a little bit. So for our front to back split, what we're trying to do is make the flexibility half in our front leg and half in our hip flexor. It's okay if you feel it more in one place, but ideally we're trying to get it evenly. If you need something for your hands, like a block or yoga blocks or a chair, please get those. But I want you to set up from here, where I am right above my supporting knee. My front leg is out, my hips are nice and parallel, and my legs are nice and parallel. And I can turn towards the camera so you have a slightly better angle. I'm very much trying to keep my legs on little railroad tracks. Don't allow your leg to go out or your legs to come across. Keep them nice and straight. Then as you slide out, try to only slide your front leg forward, extending that front leg into space, into your split position, keeping your hips nice and parallel, going to wherever you feel comfortable with today. And I'm trying to keep my shoulders stacked right over my hips. And really press into your hands. Press into whatever you have your hands on, whether it's the floor, a block, a chair, and try to extend both legs in both directions at the same time. I'm trying to get the front of my hip flexor on the floor, towards the floor. And breathing. Beautiful. Guys look fantastic. And noticing where you're feeling that stretch. So for me, it's different on different days. In most days, I do feel this more of a stretch in my front leg, in the hamstring. It just means that I should give that a little bit more attention. Good. And then go ahead and come on out of that nice and slow. We're going to do this on the other side. So again, just checking in, making sure everything is nice and aligned. My shoulders are over my hips. I have my blocks or whatever I need ready, and the front leg is going to slide forward. I'm really trying to keep my hips turned. I'm trying to get the front of my thigh onto the floor as I lower. Beautiful. And keep breathing. Try to think about that extension. Think about that little muscle above your kneecap. That's what's allowing you to get that leg nice and straight. And think about that effort in both legs, not just the front leg, the back leg as well. Wonderful. Keep energy through your arms. Keep pressing so that your legs don't have to worry about holding you up all that much. This might feel a little differently if you're already on the floor, but otherwise use your arms. Excellent, and go ahead and come on out of there. Wonderful work. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you feel a little bit more stretched out. Like I said, I definitely focused on legs, but I can do upper back, I can do full body if that's something that y'all are interested in. Thank you to Cressie, thank you to the coaches. This was a this was a fun theme, and I officially can't speak, so I will pass it on.
Thank you everyone for joining and being such rock stars, and to the other coaches and Cressie, thank you so much. That was awesome, and rock on, you guys.
Thank you all for being here. It's a lovely night. Thank you to the coaches, and thank you, Cressie. We love you.
Thank you all for being here tonight. This is officially our 51st party, so we're working our way towards number 100. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, rock on. You're awesome.